how do I pronounce it? Myanmar? Maybe I don't pronounce it in my head. How do you say it though?
I just read it in the Economist.
Then those mice set to work to do all the mischief they could, especially Tom Thumb. He took Jane's clothes out of the chest of drawers in her bedroom and he threw them out on top of the top floor window. But Hunca Munca had a frugal mind. After pulling half the feathers out of Lucinda's bolster, she remembered that she herself was in want of a feather bed. With Tom Thumb's assistance, she carried the bolsters downstairs and across the hearthrug. It was difficult to squeeze the bolster into the mouse hole, but they managed it somehow. Then Hunca Munca went back and fetched a chair, a bookcase, a bird cage, and several odds and ends. The bookcase and the bird cage refused to go out the mouse hole. Hunca Munca left them behind in the coal box and went to fetch the cradle. Hunca Munca was just returning with another chair when suddenly there was a noise of talking outside upon the landing. The mice rushed back to their hole, and the dolls came into the nursery. What a sight met the eyes of Jane and Lucinda! Lucinda sat upon the upset kitchen stove and stared, and Jean leant against the kitchen dresser and smiled, but neither of them made a mark. The bookcase and the bird cage were rescued from under the coal box, but Hunca Munca had got the cradle and some of Lucinda's clothes. She had also some useful pots and pans and several other things. The little girl that the dollhouse belonged to said, "I will get a doll dressed like a policeman." But the nurse said, "I will set a mousetrap." So that is the story of two bad mice. But they were not so very naughty after all, because Tom Thumb paid for everything he broke. He found a crooked sixpence under the hearthrug, and upon Christmas Eve he and Hunca Munca stuffed it into one of the stockings of Lucinda and Jane. And very early every morning, before anybody is awake, Hunca Munca comes with her dustpan and her broom to sweep the dolly's house. The end.
Oh, it's the end. Good night. Good night, Mummy. Good night, Olive. Good night, Daddy.